All right, we are live. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my comfy couch tonight. Y'all say hi when y'all get in the chat, okay? When you guys get in, say hi in the comments. Tonight, I'm going to introduce, even though you should know our guest today. Let's start with Daddy Daddy. Daddy is really,
I got to change that name.
he said,
Hi
what?
everyone. I got to change that name.
Tori, Tori, say
Good evening.
hey. And Adina, say hi.
Hello, everybody.
I want to thank y'all so much for joining us. Y'all have been so consistent joining us every time we're doing this lives. Thank you so much. Okay. And thank you all for joining us tonight. Say hi when you get in the chat. Okay. So tonight we're talking about the difference between a ride or die chick and just a pushover, right? So I thought this was so important because I think oftentimes women get the two confused. So I wanted us to have real talk about real scenarios and really get, the good understanding of what the difference is between really being a ride or die chick and someone a guy can just run over. So before we start, while people are coming in and you guys in the chat could play with us too, we're gonna do a couple questions on from the game Mentally Stimulate Me, okay? We haven't done this in a while, okay? This is a game. Hi, Island Rep 21. Thank you for joining tonight. So this is
I,
from
I
the
almost I almost thought you was gonna say let's open in a word of prayer.
Oh, Thaddeus, you want to lead us in prayer?
That would have been mentally stimulating too.
Oh, so Mentally Stimulate Me is a game we play sometimes. Oh, hi, glad I left. Oh, Aaron, nice to see you.
Aaron.
You made it.
Aaron.
Oh, so you're the one he knows, Adina.
Uh-huh. I
Say
think he
hi.
knows Tori too. I think. I don't
Oh, it
know.
was cool being on a show. Okay, so the first question, y'all get y'all answers together. I'm going to ask a question and it's going to have different answer choices. Everyone has to keep their answer to themselves. And then we're going to go around and try to guess what each other answered and kind of discuss why we chose the answer we did. So again, I'm going to ask the questions. You guys in the chat play along too, okay? You guys who are watching at home, answer your question. Don't tell anybody until it's time, okay? So the first question is, your high school sweetheart hits the lotto and wants to have sex one more time. He or she offers to pay you 1 million for your trouble. What you doing? A, accepting the offer. B, agreeing to one more time but without the money. C, negotiating for more money. Or D, rejecting the offer. Again, somebody want to pay you $1 million to hit it one more time. All right, what are y'all gonna do? A, accept the offer. B, agree for one more time without the money. C, negotiate for more money, or reject the offer is D. Y'all in the chat, please put the answer you guys have. Okay, Island Rep, Aaron, let me know what y'all answer is in the chat. So that is Adina and Tori. Get your answers together. Woo. Woo. Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm gonna start with Adina. Adina, what's your answer?
A. But listen. Listen. Should listen.
Adina, why is your answer A?
So I technically didn't have a high school sweetheart, right? But the person that was similar to such, right? The person I kind of went in and out of it with, okay, cool. For $1 million, cool. Cool.
Okay. What
Sure.
if you were with somebody at the time? You weren't married, but you had a boyfriend at the time.
Nah, he'd have to understand.
It would be a conversation for sure. Like, we're going to have a conversation. Listen, bruh.
So you're gonna bring it up to your boyfriend to see if
I
he's okay with
am.
it?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to do that.
Island Rep 21 says accepted and getting paid and laid. All right now. Okay.
Which one is hardest to find?
Okay, so tell me, Tori, what you doing? Are you gonna what's your answer?
My answer was A.
A. So you're gonna do I feel like every guy's answer is gonna be A. Now, what if she like looks totally different from high school? Like she done you're not attracted to her at all
You ain't
anymore.
say all this in the beginning.
I know, I'm just making stuff up as we go along. It makes it more fun.
My high school crush looks a mess right now, so I don't know. But
See, mine still look the same. But
Does it matter, Tori? Are you? It's still gonna be A or nah for $1 million?
can I? She get to sign an NDA?
Yeah,
I'm going for it.
you going for it? All right. What if you have a girlfriend? Are you still gonna do it?
Don't have to talk or break up for a day or something.
So you gonna bring it up too? Dang. Ooh.
Yeah, I'm
Aaron
like, look,
said,
I'm spending this money on you.
Aaron said, my high school sweetheart is now a retired Army sergeant. I think she would force me to get naked. Well, damn. So without the money, huh? You don't even. Thaddeus, tell me what you doing.
I'll have to go.
Go with what?
I'll have to go with D. I'll pass.
You'll pass on that ass?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, is that my its integrity is definitely not worth $1 million.
Wow, Thaddeus. Just when we thought, wow, surprising
Definitely
us
not worth $1
every
million.
episode.
Nope.
Wow, are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Wow. Ooh, what y'all think my answer was?
$1 million is not that much money either.
It's more than what I got now.
it's more than the 3 niggas some folks be rubbing together. Listen.
Say hi when you get in the chat. Thank you guys for joining. Aaron said he is Team Thad. Oh my gosh. All right. Aaron is a big fan of yours, Thaddeus. Okay. Hi, guys.
Aaron.
Say hi when you get in the chat. We're answering questions from the game right now. Mentally stimulate me before we get started. Thaddeus. So Thaddeus says no. If his high school sweetheart offered him $1 million, he is not going to smash. What do y'all think my answer was?
Yes.
Hey, like the rest of us.
So y'all don't think I have integrity too? I mean,
You might have integrity, but you got bills too.
listen, if I don't have a boyfriend, my answer is A. If I have a boyfriend, I would have to pass. My answer would be D, and I wouldn't address it with my boyfriend at all.
Wait a minute. So which one is harder to replace, a boyfriend or $1 million?
That's
I mean,
Oh,
and
Depending
boyfriend,
on your life.
that relationship lasts like what, 6 months, maybe a year tops. So you
might get married. You don't know.
You can really give up $1 million for 6 months? I don't think that's very wise.
No, we on this show, we're hoping and we believe in long-term relationships, so we're hoping that happens.
And we all know that that's not the case. Like the probability of that happening is so low that might as well you take $1 million.
Woo!
Replace
Tori's-
that guy. If you don't, you replace him and keep it moving.
Ooh, all right now. Island Rep 21 says Tori understands the struggle. All right now.
Absolutely.
So he chose A too. He chose A as well. Okay, so it looks like, man, woo, what kind of people are we? Anyway, so let's do one
Paid
more
people
question.
apparently.
Exactly.
What you said, Adina?
Paid people apparently.
All right, so we're gonna ask one more and then we'll get into our conversation for today. Okay, so this one says, "Boo, Bae gets in bed with the bottom of his or her feet so dirty they're black. What do you do?" A, nothing. It's just dirt. B, tell Bae to go take a shower. C, get out of the bed and let Bae have it. So go off on Bae. Or D, wash Bae's feet for him or her. Aww. Okay, so again, answer this question in the chat, y'all who are watching. You guys on the podcast right now, just keep your answer to yourself. So Bae gets into bed with the bottom of his or feet so dirty that they're black. What do you do? A, nothing. It's just dirt. B, tell Bae to go take a shower. C, get out of the bed and let Bae have it. So go off on Bae. Or D, wash Bae's feet for him or her. Okay, let's guess. Let's try to guess what Thaddeus' answer is. What do y'all think, Thaddeus?
I can tell you what it's not.
Listen, I'm not that bad, all right?
Thaddeus is gonna wash that sister's toes. Let me tell you, Thaddeus is he gonna take care of his lady. He gonna be like, I know you was doing XYZ today. Let me wash your feet. He gonna do what
What was
Jesus
she
would
doing?
do.
Wow, really?
Walking home?
Wow.
Time them roads be hard to
Adina,
trudge.
y'all in the chat, what y'all think Thaddeus gonna do? Listen, so Adina thinks he's gonna wash her feet. Tori, what you think Thaddeus gonna do?
I definitely didn't think he was gonna wash her feet. I thought he was gonna tell her to go wash her feet.
Yeah, I feel like he was gonna go off on her, get out the bed and let her have it. So Thaddeus, what's your answer?
No. I'll nicely tell her to go wash her feet.
Nicely?
Yes. Very
wow.
Nice.
Okay.
very, very gently. But if she, but to her point, if let's say if she was like really really tired or something like that, and that's because we would have had to have this conversation before, and she would have to know better than that. So if she was in the bed with dirty feet, chances are she was like really really tired or something. Like, yes, I would definitely wash her feet. I was like, don't worry, I got you.
So it would be D if she's tired. If not, you just tell her something nicely.
Very nicely, like, yeah, babe, don't come in the bed with your dirty feet.
Wow. What? We said it. What'd you say?
Oh no, we weren't talking about me because that's what I would say. I don't know if I'd be nice about it, but.
Oof. Okay. So Tori, what y'all think Tori answer is, y'all?
Oh, Tori's definitely B with a little twang.
He say he's B. He gonna tell him. He gonna tell him something
like this, straight out.
Oh damn! So Tori, you gonna tell Bae go take a shower?
Yes. Or she can have the bed. I'll put some socks on and go in another room.
Oh my gosh! Woo, Tori, savagery. Oh, what y'all doing, y'all? Hi, welcome.
I think that because you said her feet were black, right?
Yes, her feet are black.
That doesn't happen in one day. That's an accumulation.
Aaron said Tori going off. Okay, y'all in the chat, let me know what your answer. Island Rep says B, and I'll get the shower started. Okay, that's sweet. Island Rep, that's a good answer. What? Okay, what y'all think Adina's gonna do?
She looks like she'll not be very, very happy. Mm-hmm. And she might say something slick in the mouth. That's gonna start an argument that just goes from there. Then she gonna bring up some old things like something I did back in 2008, and then we're gonna fight about that for about 2 hours.
Wow! Nah, man. I think Adina's gonna wash the feet for him. I think she's gonna wash his feet.
Sorry.
What? Tori, what you think Adina's gonna do?
Adina's gonna take you and your stinking feet and go bathe. Yeah, Adina cussing. She is cussing.
So Adina, tell me what you gonna do. She's
thinking about the sheets she got to wash and everything. She is cussing.
What you doing, Adina?
Listen, if I see that the bottom of that young man's feet is black as tar, because I'm just gonna get up, I'm just gonna go cut the shower on. When I come back, if he asks me, well, why are you cutting the shower on and you ain't get in? Because it's for you. The bottom of your feet look like something that is highly unacceptable in any place that you go. Please carry yourself, them nasty toes, and go on in there and work it out. In Jesus' name. Good night.
Woo! All right now.
And then I'm gonna change the sheets and I'm gonna get back in the bed and I'm going to bed.
Right. Oh, so you're not gonna give him none. So now you mad. You mad.
No, I'm not mad. I'm not mad. No, you should be mad that your feet look like that. I'm not mad. I'm going to bed.
Okay. Okay, so what y'all think my answer is?
You ain't washing no feet either.
Nicole giving foot wash. Okay.
Shit.
So Adina thinks I'm gonna wash his feet.
Mm-hmm.
Tori thinks. What do you think I'm gonna do, Tori? What do you think I'm gonna do?
Run the water for him and nicely encourage him to go bathe his feet.
Okay, Thaddeus, what you think?
Yeah, I think you would tell him very nicely to go wash his feet.
Okay, I would wash his feet for him. So,
okay.
Wow.
Right. Okay. All right. So thank you guys so much for playing the game. Everyone in the chat, say hi when y'all get in. Okay. Island Boy said B, not even lying. All right. All right. So let's get into our chat. So again, tonight we're talking about what's the difference between a ride or die chick and a doormat or a pushover a chick. Okay. So first I want to get into the discussion. I want to give some scenarios first, right? And you guys can vote if you think, based on these scenarios, if the woman is displaying a pushover trait, so a pushover, or traits of ride or die chick. Okay. So y'all in the chat, let me know. And you guys here on the podcast, let me know. I'm going to give just a couple scenarios of things I've kind of heard that have happened with people. Okay. So let's say the first scenario. Okay, so a woman wants to get married and has dated a man that she is living with for 6 years. He never brings up marriage, and she's doing all the wifely duties, hoping that one day he is gonna propose. Do you guys think that she is being a ride or die chick? Like she is just hanging in there, and he's finally gonna see that she's down for him, and then he's gonna marry her. What do you guys think?
Pushover.
Pushover.
Adina votes for pushover. Tori says pushover. Thaddeus?
I said she's the R word. You can't say that on YouTube. She's a little bit slow of learning. Like
wow, yeah. That
you can't say the R word, which is what
my man said. The R word. I know that's right. Thaddeus.
Yeah, you can't say
Baby,
you can't
that's
say
it.
because then YouTube will flag it. But yeah,
baby, you can blow her over.
Anything I think over 2 years, it's yeah, like it's like what are we doing?
Ooh, look, Island Rep 21 agrees with you guys. Pushover. I say the same thing. We've said it a lot of times on this show, but so I wanted to bring it up yet again because I know quite a few people in this situation. So, ladies out there, if I could say it again for the 328th time, if you want marriage and you're living with a guy doing all the wifely duties for years and he has not brought it up, yeah, it's time for you to move on. Okay, if that's really what you want. You're not being ride or die chick. He probably doesn't see you as a wife. Okay, y'all in the chat, let me know what y'all think. Come on, don't leave me hanging now. Island Rep gave his answer. Aaron, let me know what you think, and any other guys or females in the chat. Okay, so that first scenario, we're saying that she is a pushover. Okay, y'all ready for the second one? Okay, a woman has a rule where she won't live with a man until she is married. Okay, but she finds the love of her life, and he refuses to marry her unless they get married, unless they live together first. Then so he breaks her down, and damn, she decides to move in with him. Is that ride or die? Her showing her commitment to this man, even though and breaking her standards because she really finds that he's the one, or is she displaying, pushover type qualities? Y'all tell me.
I think it would depend on her reasoning behind of it. Like if she because there's a difference between a compromise and like having some like a legitimate reason. For instance, like her religion might not allow that. She might be Muslim or Christian, or and she wants to preserve that. So she doesn't want to live with a man before she gets married. But
Yeah.
if she just has these some weird thing that she just made up in her mind, some weird rules, like people do that sometimes. And she negotiates some term with him, say, because on his side, he might want to make sure that they're compatible before.
Oh yeah, that's why he's doing it.
Yeah. So then, yeah, to me, that's okay.
So what if it is because of her religion?
Then no, then that's something different. Then no.
Okay, he said no. Okay, Island. Oops, hold on 1 second. Okay, so Aaron says lowering standards is a symptom of pushover. So Aaron thinks it's a pushover. Island Rep 21 says, I'd say ride. You don't know what someone's like until you live with them. Okay. So Island Rep 21 feels like there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, and Thaddeus says, so Thaddeus, you're thinking it's a pushover if it's like part of her religion. But if it's not,
because this is something that's dear and near to her heart, you don't necessarily compromise on those things. But if it's just something that she read in a magazine that said not to do it, and she starts holding it near and dear, it's okay.
So how do men perceive that? Because I notice again, a lot of women, like in the church or just women in general, might have these things that are near and dear to their heart, but then they break the standard when they find a guy they really like. how does that guy perceive when she does that? Does he feel like, oh, she really likes me, it's something endearing to him, or does he feel like I don't really respect her? Like, how do guys perceive when women break their standards?
So I mean, it depends. I think women are mostly they are very easy to convince. They're usually easy to convince, to compromise. They're not pushovers, but they're easily persuaded. So
So you wouldn't look down on her, you'd think she's just
I
being
mean,
a woman? Is
yeah,
that
she's
what you're
just being a
saying?
woman, and that's actually a good quality to have, by the way,
Oh,
in my opinion.
okay, so you're not calling her a pushover automatically. Tori, what do you think about women who don't keep the standards that are near and dear to their heart? How do men feel about that?
I I really think what's more important is the man that doesn't care about the standard and tries to get her to break it. But that's a totally different conversation. Um, I guess it depends on his end game. You know, like if it's somebody who is like they're not gonna have sex until marriage, and but he's really pushing the issue. Um, I don't think at that point it's a matter of whether or not he respects her for lowering her standard. It's more so seeing how long it'll take before she gives in, if she ever does. And then if she does, then I don't think respect ever comes into his mind. I think it's more so, okay, well, she's done it this time, so she'll do it again and
Mm.
going forward.
Okay, so both of y'all seem like y'all not automatically putting her in the pushover category for this
No,
automatically.
I'm not
Okay.
putting her in that category because if this is a standard that she's upheld with everybody else that she's ever dealt with, and then this one guy comes along and she lowers the standard, I don't. It's an isolated event, so I wouldn't call somebody a pushover for an isolated event.
Okay. And Aaron says women open the door to manipulation when they compromise like that. So it looks like we're getting different point of views here. Adina, what you think? When women don't hold on to the standards that they commit to for a man, do you think men respect them? Do you think she's a pushover or not in this scenario?
Um, I don't know. I tend to agree with what the guys are saying. Like, I don't necessarily think it makes you a pushover, but to Thad's point, it's like, where did you get that to begin with? Like, like, what is the foundation of this, you know, this hill you willing to die on? You know what I mean? And
Yes.
sometimes you have to take risk in order to figure out what's happening. You know what I mean? So if you really are into this guy and y'all are really building something and, y'all have discussed that, marriage is on the table, if that's what both of you all desire, the conversation has been there, and you're like, okay, I can relax this standard here because this is something that we're talking about. We know that we're building and moving forward, but then that's fine, right? And I don't think that that's a pushover trait. I think that that's more of a compromise type of situation, right? But if you get in that Mickey Blicky and you get the cooking and the cleaning and the dissing and the dadding and you done became somebody mama and everybody done forgot about the fact that you're supposed to get married and you 6 years in, you should probably make a different plan for your life.
Okay, got
And
it.
if you make it to 6 years, that's sad and unfortunate. But again, that wasn't a conversation.
So it looks like some people in the chat are agreeing too. Island Rep said it's hard to determine. It depends on the individual. And Dominique said amen. So it looks like people are kind of saying, it really depends on why, as to why you're doing it. So that's interesting. Okay. So thank you guys for voting on that one. So we got a couple more and then we'll get more into the conversation. Again, everyone say hi when you come in. Thank you for joining. Excuse me. Okay. So the next scenario is a woman has been dating a man for 2 3 years, and she's caught him cheating on her twice, but she forgives him and she stays and still is faithful and does her wifely duty. What do you guys think about women who forgive men for cheating? Is it like, okay, you expect that that might happen, so if she does, she's not being a pushover? Or do you think she's being a pushover, women who continually accept men that, might cheat every once in a while? What do y'all think? Let me know in the chat what y'all think. Is she a pushover or is she ride or die? if she is willing to forgive your infidelity. Tori, come on, start it up.
So you said he cheated how many times in what time frame?
Twice. So
Like,
they've been together for, let's say, 3 years, and he's cheated on her
mhm.
twice, and
so,
she's forgiven him both times.
so basically every year and a half he's cheated, which is becoming a pattern.
Well, you tell me. Is she ride or
I
die?
would
Like,
I would label no, no.
no.
I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say
Ooh,
so.
all right. It looks like
Right.
Island Rep is agreeing. She's letting him walk all over her and has no respect for herself. Okay. All right. Adina, tell me what you think. She a ride or die chick? You know, she's hanging
No,
in there till the end, or
no, I ain't gonna tell you what I feel like she is, because I want to respect the saints of
is
God.
she the
But
R word that Thaddeus was
no,
talking about
no,
earlier?
I was leaning more towards a dummy, but you know what I mean. It depends. Because I'm not. There's a whole broad conversation that can be had, around cheating and all of that kind of stuff. What it is, you can make it real. You can narrow it down. You can keep it broad. Listen, if you don't want to be here with me doing this in a committed situation, then just don't be here. Just don't be here. And like, I remember as a kid listening to like older family members talking about, oh, she just want a piece of a man. Like, it's like that's not the life we live in. Okay, either you in or you out. Let's not do the in betweens of it all. And if I have to catch, now is she caught him cheating, or is she
Yes.
just like, oh yeah,
She,
no, bro, I'm gonna need you
yeah.
pack. I'm gonna need you pick up the boxes over there on the left, like the great theologian Beyonce had done said. Just going over there and pick up the boxes, and we'll
To the
catch you on
left.
the outside. So just call the taxi. It's outside.
Erin is agreeing. She has a, or actually, Erin says she has scriptural grounds to leave. She's a pushover. Lad. So, yeah, so it looks like a good bit of you are like, oh no, that's not the way to go. Look at Thaddeus. Thaddeus is like, hold on.
Oh Lord.
It's funny. It's
Hold
funny
on
that she
now.
should mention all this with Beyonce. Beyonce, what did she do? What?
Allegedly.
Oh, somebody was saying with her husband?
What? No.
Maybe that's
This was pretty much confirmed. Like, and we all know, like, so those type of men, like, they put the cheat on their wives out, and they are okay with it. So I would say in that case, it depends to the relationship between the man and the woman. I don't necessarily think that she would be a pushover. I think that some women just have accepted the deal, like that's just who men are. And as long as he's coming home to her every night, as long as he's don't bring any outside babies, don't bring home any STDs. As long as the money is flowing, she is okay with it. I don't think that that's a pushover.
Ooh. And what do you think that man is going to respect her, or is he going to see her as a pushover, or is he going to see her as a ride or die chick? You know what I mean?
Of course, he respects her. We see that all the time.
He says,
You don't
I'm sorry,
think
he sees her what?
Jay-Z? You don't think Jay-Z respects Beyonce?
I don't know how many times she's forgiven him, or if he's cheated or what. I don't know for sure.
Come on, like wives of like entertainers, athletes.
So that you think these men respect them?
Millionaires, multi-millionaires. I mean, come on. It's that to me. It's every situation is different. Sometimes this woman, it's hard to find good men out there. She has a good man and he takes care of everything else, and he just wants to do this one thing. Some women just might be like, all right, honey, you do your thing, and I'll just close a blind eye.
And the guy respects her.
Of course, this is his wife.
Look at Charlie says. Charlie just pop on the scene. Hi, happy husband, happy life, lad. I haven't heard that one. Dominique says, pushover, nobody doesn't deserve to be cheated on. Okay, so Dominique, so it looks like we got like a lot of people saying pushover. I think Thaddeus was the one saying not so much. Let me see. Aaron says, Beyonce is happy Jay-Z cheated. She doesn't want to sleep with a camel.
And that's what you think.
This is why you can't let Aaron loose. This is why you can't let Aaron loose. I keep trying to tell you.
My Lord. My God. Woo!
Listen, Aaron ain't come to play with y'all today, okay?
Look, Ireland Rep 21 says hard to find one of those women, right? That are just going to be okay with it. So, okay, that's
It's not hard. You just got to go out the country.
all right. So let's go. We have two more scenarios. Then we're going to talk some more about the difference between a ride or die chick and a pushover. Thank you guys so much for engaging in the chat. Next one. So, a woman, she's been talking to this guy. She's been dating him for about 6 months. You know, one night a month, you know, he'll call her up at 2 o'clock in the morning that he wants some wings from Buffalo Stop. Wingstop. She go, Wingstop, hook him up with the wings. She washing his clothes by surprising him by washing his clothes, you know, because she's so thoughtful. She knows he has such a busy job. She'll pop over at the house and wash his clothes sometimes and dress up in a little maid outfit to clean the house while he's there. All of this with no commitment. So they have not committed to each other. He has not made her his girlfriend. Is she a pushover or is she earning her keep? What do y'all think in this scenario?
I mean, if you want to be nice, I mean, okay.
Yeah. I don't.
You think she just be what? You think she just being nice?
No, she trying to be the main chick. That's what she trying to do. But if he don't care, he don't care about that. That man don't care about that.
I think she should just have a end date in mind.
Yeah, like you got to know that you.
Yeah. So listen, I'm gonna do this for let's say 3-6 months, but you know this has to go somewhere. But she has to tell him that though. Yeah,
she has to tell him that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, but because the thing is, other than that, it's you because I know women who do that for other women. I mean, not in the maid outfit. That's a bit far, but I know some women who have you know girlfriends that they would go over and up beyond, like you know, bring them food in the middle of the night, get up, take them whatever they need to go. They're just that type of person. So
wow.
I
thought you guys have panic attacks when we give y'all a timeline for stuff. Like if we tell y'all, hey, look, I'm expecting us to be official within 6 months. Like, I feel like you guys have a panic attack. Like, I don't even know. I just met you. I don't even know if I really like you. Why are you telling me a time frame?
Not if he's serious.
Because he's telling you that, you should be able to wrench in his drawers out. Golly.
Tori, what you think?
If she's doing all that, the last thing he's worried about is her going anywhere.
So you think
so she would have to establish some sort of timeline to be like, you know what, I'm not gonna keep doing this forever, and we're not defined as anything.
Okay, so both of you are kind of saying, hey, she needs to put a timeline on it. She can't just be doing this indefinitely. Aaron says he needs more information on that one. Okay, Aaron, what you need to know in that case? Island Rep says, honestly, doesn't know. It might be a friends with benefit type situation. Charlie says, realistically, how often do we think that this is happening? A woman is not doing this without some kind of motive behind it. There's women doing all kind of stuff just in the hopes that the man will take her seriously, just on a hope and a prayer. Women out here doing all type of stuff.
That's still the motive, though.
Yeah, that's the motive.
The motive is always to be chose, like, period. Mm-hmm. That's the end of the statement. Unless, of course, the woman is into, like, poly or something like that. And even in that, you're still trying to get chose, right? You're still trying to be a part of the thing. Like, excuse me, I think this is totally off topic, but that's the thing. I mean, that's the societal norm. Like, women are raised right and geared toward being chosen by a man, you know what I mean? And so a lot of women have those types of needs that need to be filled, and so they find themselves doing all kinds of weird stuff that they never even thought that they would do to try to catch the attention of a particular man.
So in this case, do y'all think she's doing too much though? Like, she hasn't gotten a commitment, but she doing all of this. Like, do you think she doing too much, y'all?
Yep.
Yeah,
it depends to what's his level of reciprocity is.
Oh, like if she getting something out of it?
Yeah. Like, so for instance, he might be just that type of person too. I know a lot of guys like that. They'll go over and beyond for this woman. So I mean, he might be like flying her out all the time, or they go on really expensive trips and vacations, and he's really taking care of her. Maybe he might be already paying some of her bills, and she feels like maybe she's just doing this. And yeah, definitely. So it depends. It depends on the level. But if let's say he's doing none of these things and she's putting in all the work and he's doing nothing, yeah, then like I said, the R word.
And 9 times out of 10, it's the latter, right?
No. You don't know that. That's just the stories that you hear, because you always hear the bad stories, but you never hear the good ones.
Ooh.
I'm telling you, you only like women. They get on Facebook and they get on social media, and they always blast the bad stories, but they rarely blast the good ones. So that's all you hear, and that's why you think 9 times out of 10 it's bad, but it's not all bad. You just hear about the bad ones. But I know a lot of good dudes. As a matter of fact, good dudes, borderline are,
Simps. How about we go with simps instead of the R word?
I believe there are a lot of them too.
Yeah, I mean, they will go, especially if you're pretty. Ooh, you tell a guy how he wants to buy you the world immediately. There's a lot of men like that. A lot of men. But the thing is, you never hear about them. Unfortunately, you never hear about them because normally they get with some girl that way above them in terms of emotional intelligence, and they just kind of just take advantage of them. Unfortunately.
Ooh. Island Rep says the good stories are boring, the bad ones get attention.
Exactly.
But that's true. We do have a tendency to just talk about what's not going right, but all the good times we don't say all the good stuff. That's true. Okay, so last scenario, and I want you guys to think about what your definition would be of a ride or die chick versus a pushover. Okay, you guys in the chat, let me know, and you guys who are on this podcast, let me know what you think are the main differences. If you have to define both, how would you define it, and how would you separate the two? My last scenario is, so you're with your boyfriend, right? And he talks about an incident at work. And when he tell you the whole incident where, he's pissed off about this, and that, you as a female think that he is wrong for what he did. But you don't say anything. You just side with him like, yeah, babe, them people at work ain't shit. They just jealous, da, 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 da. Do men want to hear the truth? Do they want to hear when they are wrong? Like, do they feel that they want a woman who is going to really, stick up and tell him when he's wrong? Or is it a ride or die chick quality to just side with him? Y'all tell me as men and ladies in the chat, what y'all think?
Nah, if we're out, we should be a united front. But if we're home, definitely tell me when I'm wrong. Definitely.
Ooh, okay. That's interesting. In front of people versus in private.
But you have to have wisdom with it too. Like, don't tell me everything. Like, there's some women who like always correcting their husband. Like, if you do me that, especially if it's for something simple. Like I said, hey, honey, like yesterday we picked up like 2 grapes, and then he was like, oh no, it was 3. And I'm telling a story, and you're like, no, honey, it was 3. You do that one too many times, yeah. It's like,
and that's irritating as hell. Like,
yeah, it is.
Shut up.
Exactly. But some people just feel the need to correct people all the time, and it gets very annoying. So, like I said, it's a balance. It's a balance. But if I was like dead wrong, like some guy came up to me, he didn't give me an attitude, and I thought he had an attitude. In the moment, she'll side with me, but when we go home, he's like, babe, listen, you need to chill out with his temper. Like, that guy, I'm sure he meant nothing by it. That's fine. That's fine.
Ooh, okay. So it looks like Aaron's agreeing. He says we want to hear the truth. It's about timing though. So he agreed about the whole timing thing too. Okay, so Tori, tell me as a guy, do you want to, is it ride or die chick is gonna like side with you no matter what, or is she gonna let you know when you're wrong?
I agree with that. You can tell me in private, just don't embarrass me in public.
Okay.
So if I'm dead wrong, then I have no problem with somebody letting me know.
Okay.
That I was wrong in maybe the way I said something, the way I responded to something. I don't have any issues with her coming to me saying you could have handled it a different way, or you could have looked at it from this perspective and responded a different type of way.
Okay. All right, so I like it. So you guys are agreeing. Island Rep 21 says you got to butter it up a little and then give it to me honestly. Okay. So I noticed that, sometimes we do have to watch our words uh when we speaking to y'all. Adina, what you think? Like if you're with your man, are you telling him when he's wrong or, you know, you just going to side with him?
No, I'm gonna tell him.
You going to tell
I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna be like, come on. Now you know that if such and such happened to such and such. Now you come on. You can't possibly think. I mean, you could, but also like this could have been the point of view. You know what I mean? Like helping them to understand
Yeah.
because some people don't. I think in general, some people just don't get the other side because they're so angry about their own convictions about the situation. And usually that's what it is, right? So you just gotta kind of like help them navigate it. Like, okay, so tomorrow you don't show up, ready to smack everybody's head off. Like, let's just figure it out. You don't have to go to work angry tomorrow. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna say
Yes.
something.
Charlie's also saying you got to know when to have my back and let me know when I'm out of pocket. So definitely timing. So it looks like the timing is a big thing with everyone. So many do want to know. So that's interesting. Thank you all so much for your feedback. So now let me go to you guys in the chat and on this podcast. Let me know, how would you define a pushover versus a ride or die chick? Thaddeus, I'm gonna start with Thaddeus, Tori, then Adina, and everybody in the chat. Let me know how would you differentiate the two? What would you say that is?
Come back to me. I want to write. Let me think about that for a while.
Okay. All right. So Tori,
God, man, I was counting on you.
Young.
Go to Adina first. I want to hear from a female point of
You
view.
know what? Listen, I prepped y'all. I sent y'all this in the email before y'all came on
I
this.
know.
I even prepped y'all while we were doing the last question, and y'all still don't have an answer.
And I normally do my research and everything too. I come with the facts. I come with the statistics. I come with the data.
Woo! Okay, y'all
I thought about this in the car today, but I didn't come up with a conclusive, like a concrete. I like it to be concrete, something that somebody could understand.
Yes.
Because those lines, I'm not gonna lie, they're very, 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 very easily blurred.
Exactly.
Because from one situation, like no situation is the same. And I don't like to give answers like that because then what it does is then we basically did not answer the question. So people go home with that. I could just make up what's a ride or die or what's a pushover. In my head, like a ride or die is what this is what I was thinking. Like a ride or die, she will make concessions. She will concede. She will make she will make decisions based on the overall health of the relationship, right? She will make decisions for the health of the relationship. I think a pushover, she will make decisions based on just the man.
Trying to like please him.
Yeah, so pleasing him is okay because if it benefits the relationship on a whole, if you understand. Being a pushover just means that you're conceding, and it's usually at the detriment of yourself.
Exactly. I like that. That sounds good. You said you didn't have a good answer. That was good.
Well, it's still because people could still ask, you could still poke holes in my theory, because then it's like, okay, well, when do you know it's to your detriment? Because a lot of times, for instance, we go back to that scenario with the woman who her boyfriend asked her to come live. That could be to her. People can see that as to her detriment. It's like, well, she doesn't really want to do it, so now she's uncomfortable. She's this. It's really to her detriment, but in the overall picture, it could be that she was making a concession in order for them to further their relationship. So
yeah, but like
said,
as you said,
but
if it was to her demise, then that's an issue. Look, Aaron says a pushover is someone who doesn't show any strength, possibly from low self-esteem. A ride or die pushes back and establishes boundaries. So I like that word boundaries. I feel like pushovers don't have boundaries, but ride or die chicks will have a boundary. So I like that.
That's a very good one. That's a very
yes.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. Adina, tell me, what do you think is the difference between the two? How would you define them?
This is a tough question. And I feel a lot like that said, like it's a very, very fine line between the two. And I agree with what Aaron said in terms of like the boundaries being there. Um, because that's a big part of it, you know. And I think that boundaries is one of those words like narcissist that gets thrown around all the time, and people don't necessarily know how to establish their boundaries and what boundaries should look like. So again, I think that that lends to the part about it being a really fine line. Um, and so, but initially, like when I hear ride or die, I'm thinking like, you know, the woman that is um, confident, right? She knows what she wants, what she doesn't want. She knows what place she wants to be in your life. She knows where she stands with herself, the things that, you know, take care of her and nourish her. She knows those things, and those things that she wants you to do. She knows those things. She can explain those things, state those things. When you need her, she's there. She's able to assist you in moving through the world, you know, like you should be there helping to assist her move through the world. And when I think pushover, I think more of lack of boundaries, um, just whatever, willing to get along to go along type of vibe, and unsure, like really unstable and unsure in who she is. Not clear on what's next, or you know, fearful a lot of times. Not that everybody doesn't have a level of fear, but these people tend to be like like they like choke up, you know, when it comes to living life because they're so fearful, and so they just try to do any and everything that will allow them to stay in your good graces.
Oh, yeah. So she knows. Okay, that was good. I think that was good. To talk about she knowing, you know, what she wants, and now not being afraid to say it, as opposed to just trying to please someone. I find that the definition has to do with the man too, because I feel
Mm,
like you'd rather die if you are doing these things for the right man. I feel like the pushover allows men who don't want them, who are not, um, you know, reciprocating, who are not, you know, the right one for them. They do all this stuff for the wrong kind of people. I feel like the ride or die chick, it doesn't, you know, will do all these things, will have the guy's back, you know, if he's down or whatever. But it's for the right guy, right? I feel like pushovers often do this for men who don't want them. So I think we should also put in the equation the men that you're doing this stuff for, right?
Yeah,
That's
but then you won't know who that guy is until later on.
right.
mhm.
Yeah, so yeah, like I said, we could poke holes in most of these
Yeah.
theories. It's very hard because you could think that this guy is amazing, and then all the time he was cheating on you. Then what are you then? Are you a ride or die, or no? You're a pushover, you know?
Well, if he was
Or he could be perpetrating
reciprocating,
a fraud. You know what I mean? I mean, he could have shown up some one way and then ended up being another way.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
yeah,
So my favorite or closest definition I think was the guy who said that someone who has boundaries,
yes,
right?
boundaries.
Some clear boundaries.
Let's see. Island Rep 21 says, a ride is someone who's got your back in good and bad times, but will let me know when I'm in the wrong and can help better myself. Pushover will let me do anything and never tell me I'm wrong. Ooh, I likes that.
Yeah,
That was good. I likes that
I
too.
think a ride or die does make concessions and has boundaries, but is
Yeah.
also quick to remind somebody not to take this for granted.
Mm.
Where I think a pushover, on the other hand, doesn't know how to include the word no in her vocabulary out of fear of what might happen if she decides to stand up for herself, or if she declines whatever it is the guy is asking her to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so we as humans we think in pictures, right? So when I say ride or die, like immediately this picture comes into your mind, like this like really tough really tough woman. Like the minute I say pushover or like super submissive or something, there's like a picture that comes to your mind. And you know for us, not for women, not to be considered, they don't want to be considered themselves a pushover, then they automatically try to go to the next extreme, which is that ride or die, which is they think that they have to be super combative and always have to challenge you, and that's not the case, and that's kind of what we want to shy away from, Nicole, on the show. Yeah.
Thaddeus, we did not mention being aggressive or anything like that. We were saying ride or die, meaning we're going to hold you down. But still, have our standards too. Not going to let you just walk all over us. Let me see. Aaron says, my ex-wife thought I was a pushover until I set boundaries. I locked her mother out of the house. My lord, Aaron. Oh, Lord,
I better
Aaron.
not play with Aaron in here tonight. I'm telling y'all right now, you better stop it.
Okay, so now I want the guys to give us scenarios where you felt like a woman you were talking to was being a pushover. Because I like to have real scenarios because, again, that's why I brought up these scenarios because so women or people could see, and see themselves in these. So I know, I'm sure every guy has met a woman that they would define as a pushover. Tell me, what exactly was she doing? Um, Tori, you have your hand on your head. I'm going to call you first.
She did everything. Like no matter what I asked her to do, no matter how crazy it might have been, how outlandish I might have thought it might have been, her answer was always I'll try, and I'll try will end up turning into a yes. And like for me, that's not what I wanted. Like I wanted somebody who had a backbone. Like tell me what I'm asking for is ridiculous or utterly slow. Because I can't say the other word, but she never would do so. And it was like the more willing to give whatever it was that I wanted, the less interested I really was in her.
I like that, Tori, because I feel like women get that confused sometimes. They think like if it's like yes, 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 like you're gonna like them more because they're just so
Yes,
agreeable and they're willing to do everything.
I'm going to like you more. Yes, I'm going to like you a lot.
Until it doesn't serve you anymore, and don't ask
you
me how I
know,
know.
so they confuse that,
No,
thinking
no,
that
not with me. You continue to tell me yes. We gonna have us a ball. No, 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 no. I never get tired of hearing yes.
but I think, like, Tori mentioned there might be some truth to that, that if it is something that, is ridiculous or he's not doing right or whatever, like, you need to speak up. It can't just always be, in fear of losing him. Um, so I like that. Charlie says, a rider is one that knows what's up and handles herself and things accordingly. A pushover just ignores every red flag. Consequences be damned. Okay. So, alrighty. So it's getting different answers here. So everybody can just think about it as they watch these different answers
A
coming up.
pushover twirls the flag.
She twirls the flag.
Yeah, a pushover is the flag girl.
Okay, so Thaddeus, tell me, a woman that you would consider a pushover, tell me what exactly did she do that made you feel like, oh man, she's a pushover?
Unfortunately, I have never had such an experience.
Come on,
Really?
Thaddeus. Praise the Lord for small favors.
So everyone,
I-
every
like,
hmm?
yeah. As a matter of fact, sometimes it was like quite the opposite. Where I'm like, yeah, this is not working. Like, I can't tell you something and you tell me something back, and like, yeah, that's not gonna work.
Oh, so you like challenging women, huh?
I I just seem to attract them, but
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So let me know in the chat, Charlie, Aaron, Island Rep, y'all all dudes in the chat. Let me know. Have you met a woman that you would consider a pushover? And if she is, tell me what exactly was she doing that showed that to you? Adina, do you think you've ever been a pushover in a relationship?
Unfortunately, yes.
You have?
Hmm.
Okay, so tell me what was going on?
It was just in a really vulnerable space in the relationship, and so it caused me to like internally panic. Um, and so I just became like the yes girl, like, but also like in my own defense, I thought that I was in a relationship with somebody that was compatible with me, and so when he would say stuff, it would make sense to me, and I didn't see a point in pushing back because it made sense. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, but for them, it was interpreted like I was a pushover and I didn't have any, like I wasn't standing my ground and I wasn't doing all of these things. So that's where the assumption of me being a pushover in a relationship came from. And I Listen, I've known Tori, what, 17, 18 years? Tori knows I'll give you a swift kick in the butt with my opinion. Like, I'll tell you. But I mean, but if I wouldn't have been in this particular space that I was in, I would have been able to give differently of myself. But I've been labeled as such before.
Thank you for being so real about that, Adina. Like for real, that's real. A guy again, guys in the chat. I need to hear y'all experiences of dealing with women that are pushovers. I feel like even the strongest women, when we really like a guy, I think we find ourselves sometimes in that situation. So if it's the wrong kind of guy, that's a big issue. I think we've all been pushovers at some point. So
And I
it's
think I was in a good relationship. I just
Mhm.
think that the space that I was in wasn't as important to him as it was to me. So like for me, it was like panic. Like it was just like it was a lot. There was a lot going on in that space, and so I think he was. I still think he's a great person. I just don't. I just don't think that. I think there were some components missing, and
in
so
the
it just kind of just kind of where he didn't recognize that that wasn't me being me, right? He didn't recognize the difference between who I was when he met me versus who I was in that space,
oh, okay. Yeah.
right? And for him to be able to acknowledge, like, okay, man, she's a lot different than when I first met her, and not asking any questions and just kind of going with it, and then making this assumption that I'm just a pushover person and I don't push back.
I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so Aaron says, I met a woman who was a pushover. I broke it off so I wouldn't break her heart. I don't play with God like that. Why? So, man, release the pushovers. Release the pushovers. Release them.
Nicole,
Charlie says, huh? What were you saying?
I was going to say
Charlie?
that I think another reason why a lot of people fit, I guess, that pushover space is if they've been single or been by themselves for
Mm-hmm.
like a certain amount of time, and then they get with somebody, and out of fear of going back to that space that they just left out of, they're willing to try to do anything just to stay in the space of saying that they have somebody, as opposed
Mm-hmm.
to being by themselves, which was a space that they didn't like being in the first place.
Yeah, I think it is looking at, where am I coming from? Like, is it from a place of desperation? Is it a place of loneliness? Am I whole and healed myself and in this? Or may I be, doing these actions because of what I'm going through at the time? That's a very good point, both Adina and what you said too, Tori. Charlie said someone that does way too much. So hold on. Okay. So Charlie says someone that does way too much. You want to do everything from cook my dinner to put the toothpaste on my toothbrush and everything in between. I
Man,
don't need you to do
where
everything.
are these women? Like, where are these women? Like, man, where are these women? Where are they? Like,
Thaddeus said, "Where they at? Where
where?
they at?"
Yeah,
Right.
somebody. You could imagine getting like, wouldn't you like that? I said this. Get up in the morning, your toothpaste is all laid out on your toothbrush. You ever saw that
Right.
that meme? There's a guy, and he it's like a meme on Instagram where he's like, if my wife made seven figures, and she would like get up and then he was like run and get her shoes and like put it underneath her feet. As soon as she get up, he would open the door for her like really really fast. When she's about to sit down, put the chair. Yeah, like it's like who wouldn't want that? I mean, that's a bit extreme, but you get my point. Why would
Yeah.
you want somebody to cater to you? Another Beyonce song, by the way. Let me cater to you.
Damn, he's on Beyonce tonight, boy. And Aaron lastly says pushovers tend to be needy. I have never had the patience for the needy, clingy type. Okay. So, in conclusion, right, the whole point of this discussion is for women to see the difference between a pushover and a ride or die chick. Okay, just because you give a man everything and say yes to everything in hopes that he's gonna do right and pick you, that's not what makes you a ride or die chick, right? It looks like men want accountability. They want to know when they're doing wrong. They want you to have um, boundaries and standards. And so I just wanted to really have that conversation to show women that. Does anyone have any final words that you guys want to say to women who are out there? Also, we talked about the place where you're coming from, right? Like if you're in a place right now where you're hurt, you're at a place where you are in fear, you're feeling lonely, maybe watching if that's where your actions are coming from, that place. Charlie says, that is, I can slide you her number, bro. Lord have mercy.
Fix it, Jesus. It's broken. Fix it, Lord.
Probably gonna not want her. She's probably not his type. His looks.
How you know? How you know? How you know?
Listen,
Because
she might not be physically fit. Amen.
Physically, that's what I'm trying to say.
So a needy woman can't be fit. That's what you're saying.
I'm saying most of the times when people have the pick of the litter, it's hard for them to be humble and really catering and all that shit because they don't have to be. Just like your ass. Sorry, we're live. So, yeah.
So maybe that's why I can never find them. Some girl with all these women who have the necessary the pick of the litter. So they feel like they don't have to do much, and it's like, not over here, sweetheart. You got to do a lot over here. If you don't, then go on.
So get you a thickum and be happy. Okay. Any final comments from anybody else in the chat or on here?
Y'all stay strong out there. Stay strong and don't get pushed over by the winds of hot breath. Amen. Don't do it. Right. You ain't gotta be fully in your masculine energy, right? You ain't gotta be overly feminine. You gotta find, which I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if balance is a thing that exists, but stay somewhere in the middle. You know what I mean? Like, be cool, calm down, get out, calm down. That's the problem. These women need to calm down. Calm down, sis. You on 150, my man needs you at 80. You gotta figure it out, sis. Stop being in the clouds, sis. You ain't gotta be under the ground, but you gotta be somewhere walking. Calm down. It's okay. All right. Your person will find you. You'll find your person. Y'all will work it all out. Just calm down.
Yes, and magic exists.
Oh Lord, we can work on it.
We're all gonna hold hands and sing Kumbaya and be happy everly after.
Oh, so some words from Island Rep 21. Don't settle just because it's easier than putting in the work. Okay.
What work are we talking about? Like,
right. And don't settle because it's getting cold outside either.
Baby, cuffing season is upon the saints of God. Amen. Cuffing season is upon the saints of God. It is.
All right.
Cold and wanting to cuddle.
So everybody else good. Thank you all for joining us again, and we appreciate you joining us all the time. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell somebody about the show. Let us know if you're interested in being on our show. And thank you all again, and we'll see you next time on My Comfy Couch. Toodles, everyone.